بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا ثم أما بعد. This is your brother Musa Millington, and today I would like to address some of the statements made by Yasir Qadhi in a recent recording by him, wherein he mentioned that he is still upon the way of the Salaf, however, that he is no longer part of the Salafi movement. That he is still upon the way of the Salaf, but however, he is no longer part of the Salafi movement. And since the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, خَيْرُ كَلَامِ مَا قَلَّ وَدَلَّ, that the best of speech is what is short and gets straight to the point. Inshallah ta'ala, I will get straight to the point. But before I go into my actual analysis of the speech of Yasir Qadhi, his speech looks at two major foundations, or two major principles. Number one, that which is a methodological issue. Number one, that which is a methodological issue, and the difference between a methodological issue and a behavioral issue. Number two, al-intisab ila salafiyya, or ascription to salafiyya. Is it legislated or is it not legislated? So I will just read some of his statements, inshallah ta'ala, and clarify the speech according to the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I disagree with some of the methodological practices of the current Salafi movement, not the theoretical Salaf understanding of Islam. So he said he disagreed with some of the methodological practices. What are the methodological practices? Is the methodological practice such as al-ibti'ad min al-mubtadi'ah? Is it staying away from the people of innovation? Is it staying away from speaking ill of the Muslim rulers? Is it does it relate to not rebelling against the Muslim ruler by the tongue or the sword? What are these methodological issues that Yasir Qadhi is talking about exactly? Is it the issue of asma wa sifat? Is it the issue of the Sahaba? Is it the issue of Iman? What are the methodological issues exactly that he is speaking about? So, in elaborating upon these methodological issues, he said, I disagree with things that are prevalent that are not found in every single Salafi. Prevalent but not found in every single Salafi. Now, if it is that these are methodological issues or issues of manhaj or methodology or the tariq or the sayr or the sabil or the way that a person traverses upon, if it is that it is found within some Salafis and not found within others, is it truly a methodological issue? I'll leave him to explain. He says, I disagree with things that are prevalent that are not found in every single Salafi but have become somewhat problematic for me. Okay, what are these problematic issues really? The harshness. The harshness. Now, is harshness a methodological issue or a behavioral issue? Is it a methodological issue or a behavioral issue. Now, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he spoke about al-rifq. Inna al-rifqa la yakunu fi shay'in illa zana. That verily, being gentle is not in anything except that it decorates it. Right? And also he said, Ma yuhram al-rifq, yuhram al-khayr. That whomsoever he doesn't have rifq, or he doesn't have gentleness, then or whoever is prevented from gentleness, he is prevented from good. Now, is harshness amongst brothers who are Salafi, is it a methodological issue or a behavioral issue? Now, note well that in some cases harshness is used, although the asl or the principle is to have rifq. The principle is to be gentle, but sometimes harshness is used. So harshness is not kicked out of the door at all times. However, if he is speaking about some brothers who do not use harshness, or who utilize harshness in other than its proper place, then this becomes a behavioral issue. This is not a methodological issue wherein that this way of Salafiyah is simply characterized by people being harsh and people barking at people. Allah understand. So it is a behavioral issue. If some brothers are harsh when they're not supposed to be harsh, then that has to do with them. That has nothing to do with Salafiyah. Number 2, the exclusivity. Now, if he means by exclusivity, those brothers that if you correct them on issues of Aqidah or issues of methodology, that they aim their spears at you because you have corrected them with evidences, then this is Hizbiyah. This is clear partisanship, which has been displayed in recent years by Salafi publications of Birmingham. There have been issues of Iman, for example, have been explained to them that actions are an essential part of Iman, that if you have no actions, you have no Iman, as the Salaf have consensus upon. Certain issues of Jahr wa Ta'dil have been explained to them. Certain issues regarding how harshness and gentleness is used has been explained to them. But anybody who tries to explain these things to them, spears get pointed at them at once. This is Hizbiyah. This is clear partisanship on their part. That whenever their party is incorrect, that they still seek to have an excuse and a defense and whatnot. So if he is speaking about that type of exclusivity, then without doubt he is correct. But if he is speaking about exclusivity, meaning that one stays away and boycotts the people of innovation, then he is totally incorrect, because the Salaf, or the pious predecessors, if it is that he claims to be upon the way of the Salaf Salih, have consensus that one must boycott the people of innovation unless it has a legislative benefit, such as bringing them back to the truth. This is the reason why we mix with the people of innovation, to bring them back to the truth. Otherwise, it is unlawful to mix with them. So if he is speaking about the exclusivity in terms of the people who are upon the way of the Salaf, that they exclude themselves from the sittings of the people of innovation, who say about Allah whatever they want to say, who go by the graves and call upon other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who propagate innovations within the ummah such as the Mawlid, who curse the mothers of the believers, etc. In that case, this exclusivity is not something that is incorrect, but rather it is something that is legislative, that is legislated in itself. Number 3, the way they treat other people, I disagree with that. The way they treat other people, again, is this a methodological issue? Does Salafiyya, does the Salafi movement, or whatever he wants to call it, does it encourage people to just treat other people bad? To just go on the road and just slap this one, crowd that one, curse that one, call this one a dog, call this one a donkey? Does it just say to just go and just do that? Or is it that some of the brothers who ascribe themselves to Salafiyya, they have, or they simply have a tongue that is loose, or they simply have bad behavior? So that is a behavioral issue. It is not that this is a recommended way or a recommended means to traverse, but rather it is a problem within individuals that have to be addressed. And I'll just point to Yasir Qadhi that there is a tape by Sheikh Nasiruddin al-Albani wherein he deals with such a matter. It is called Ash-Shidda in the Salafiyin, and I am sure Yasir knows that tape. Harshness among the Salafis, and Sheikh al-Albani clarified that you can't say that all the Salafis are harsh. Rather, you may find harshness in some of the brothers. Allahul Musta'an. So there you have it. You have a man who cannot differentiate between a behavioral issue that individuals have and a methodological issue which people traverse upon. Is it from the Aqidah of these individuals who have these behavioral issues that we must treat people badly and we must be harsh to them and we must just be exclusive to them for no reason? Is this part of the actual belief? Is this an actual part of their manhaj or methodology that they feel that they must traverse upon? That is entirely preposterous. Now, Yasir Qadhi continued to say, Allah Musta'an, the term Salafi is not a Quranic or an Islamic term. It is not found in the Hadith. It is a term that has its good and bad. The term is not holy. The term does not need to be defended, and Allah will not punish you for living off that term. Okay. So Yasir Qadhi makes the claim that the term Salafi is not a legislative term. It is not found in the Qur'an, and it is not an Islamic term. It is not found in the Hadith, etc., etc., etc. Now we just go in to see what the Imams of Islam have said. The Imams, the scholars of Islam, have said regarding this. Imam As-Sam'ani, Abu Muzaffar, in his famous book Al-Ansab, and Imam As-Sam'ani, if I'm not mistaken, he lived either in the 5th or the 6th century of the Hijrah. He said, As-Salafi bi fath sin wal lam. That Salafi with the fatha and the sin and the lam. Wa fi akhiriha fa. And then the last Letter is the fa. هذه النسبة إلى السلف. This is an ascription to the Salaf. وانتحال مذهبهم, and taken up their way. على ما سمعت, upon what you have heard. This is Imam As-Sam'ani in his book Al-Ansab. Imam Al-Dhahabi, he said As-Salafi bi-fathatain, that Salafi with fathatain, the fatha and the sin and the fatha and the lam. He said huwa man kana ala madhhab as-salaf. He is the one who is upon the madhhab or the way of the salaf. Imam Al-Dhahabi, who wrote books like Sir Aram al-Nubala, which is a great book of Islamic history, great muhaddith, one of the students of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he said, La aiba, now listen to the words of Shaykh al-Islam carefully. He said, La aiba ala man adhara madhhab as-salaf وانتسب إليه, that there is no problem with the one who displays the way of the Salaf and ascribes to it. He ascribes to the way of the Salaf, meaning that he is a Salafi, because the Ya, and this, oh gosh, this is something that we studied in Mustawa Thalith in Medina, that the Ya is called Ya al-Nisbah, or the Ya of ascription.